Masked federal agents from the Department of Homeland Security rolled onto the streets of Portland, Oregon Sunday morning. It came on direct orders from President Donald Trump, calling for troops to, quote, protect war-ravaged Portland from attacks by Antifa and other domestic terrorists.
There is no insurrection. There is no threat to national security, and there is no need for military troops in our major city.
Governor Tina Kotek says the presence of troops will only escalate a situation that's already under control.
Any federal takeover with military troops in our state is a threat to communities across Oregon. It violates our right to govern ourselves. It interferes with local law enforcement's ability to fulfill their mission. And frankly, it drains taxpayer resources that could be better spent elsewhere.
The White House says the move is to protect federal immigration facilities in the wake of protests against ICE raids and to combat what Donald Trump is calling a surge in violent crime. But new numbers are telling a different story. A mid-year report from the Major Cities Chiefs Association shows that crime in Portland actually dropped within the first 6 months of this year. Homicides fell by 51%, with 17 documented compared to 56 in Louisville and 124 in Memphis, both cities of similar size. Kotek says the deployment is a, quote, misuse of power.
I believe the president does not have the authority to deploy federal troops on state soil. I'm coordinating with Attorney General Dan Rayfield.
Speaking Sunday with CNN, military analyst and retired Army Colonel Cedric Layton called the situation a slippery slope.
Local authorities, as you pointed out, are not requesting these troops. They don't see a need for them. And it happens to be the case that crime rates in Portland are actually decreasing during this period of the last year or so. So it's questionable as to what the rationale really is for doing this.
Earlier this week, the White House released a so-called fact sheet outlining its reasoning, pointing to a new national security directive targeting organized political violence and domestic terrorism. It directs the FBI to prosecute and disrupt those engaged in political violence designed to obstruct the rule of law.
Now, in that so-called fact sheet, the Trump administration lists a number of examples of the rise of political violence. It mentions the 2 failed assassination attempts made on Donald Trump's life. It also mentions the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk and the attempted assassination of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh. It should be noted that the document failed to make any mention of this year's assassination of the top Democrat in the Minnesota House, Melissa Hortman, and her husband. For City News, I'm Karling Donoghue.